الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ومن الليل فتهجد به نافلة لك عسى أن يبعثك ربك مقاما محمودا وقل رب أدخلني مدخل صدق وأخرجني مخرج صدق واجعل لي من لدنك سلطانا نصيرا وقل جاء الحق وزهق الباطل إن الباطل كان زهوقا صدق الله العظيم.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is something I was alerted of after I submitted my proposal of the university. I have been doing this dua every tahajjud for last 2 years now. And I still do it because for a while it seemed that I have arrived, right? But it appeared so many incidents happened that I felt that no, maybe this is not the right place. So I'm still praying. But notice how it is. First, you have a group. This is Prophet's dua during Hijrah. Hijrah is an obligation. It's in Surah Baqarah. It's an obligation. So he's preparing. How? Tahajjud prayer. Allah is saying, during Tahajjud of all time, they make this dua. Get us out and place in safe place. Why? To get a authority from Allah. Sultan. Not to get money or refuge or protection. To get the authority. This is what society fails to understand. Muhajir is not a refugee. Refugee ran away because he has the problem. He wants to make money or whatever. Muhajir came here because he wants Allah's given authority. That's why Prophet became the head of state. Everybody said that, who is he? He's not even from my tribe. First Khalifa, second Khalifa, third Khalifa, fourth Khalifa, all of them among Muhajir. How is it possible? So that mindset that, oh, these are foreigners, these are not local people, they should not have authority, is completely anti-Islam.
Yeah.
Then, only then, declare that truth has arrived and falsehood has gone. That line is everybody. When there's fatah, when there's victory, everybody said those. Ja'al haq, zahuk al-batil, right? But they forgot the first two. That's what it was about. Victory doesn't come suddenly. It comes through the process. It's quite interesting that so much emphasis is given on tahajjud. First khutbah of the Prophet, I don't know if you are aware of this or not, when he came to Medina, his first speech, he made 4 points. Number 1 point, spread salam, spread peace. But who is he addressing? Ya Nas, all humans.
Not only Muslims.
Not only Muslims. So, first, establish Khilafah. Second, spread peace. Who is going to establish Khilafah? That group, the Tahajjud group, started with that. And next job, spread salam. Next job, feed the hungry. You said, what that hungry has to do all of a sudden? This is a political thing, we are enjoying victory. Didn't you see that? Everybody is rejoicing. People are busy collecting their guns and ganama, what is it called? Ganima?
Yes, Ghanima.
Right? Very happy. In the meantime, children are starving, they're begging. I have not seen begging children long time. Same place. Afghanistan was number one currency last 2 years in a row. Yet children are hungry. That's number two. Before anything else, before having your weapon and spread, conquer the world, which they did. What was the first one? Spread salam, feed hungry. Immediately. Third, after taking care of the hungry, third is coming your family and kings. Take care of them. How profound. And the fourth, first speech, can you imagine? First speech. Fourth, pray at night while others are asleep. Right away. Before even saying Hajj and Salat and Zakat,
Fast.
stay at night. So that's the job of leaders. You purify. Not purify with military training, but purify with
Worship.
this one. Completely missing in any program. We mentioned that to understand zero waste, you have to understand nature.
Sir, here hungry is very important role
Yes.
in something, for example, the criminality increase. by-
Everything is connected. See, Prophet talks about it and he doesn't BS. It's precise. 4 lines. 4 lines. All of them are exact. This is not a matter of joke. Allah is preparing you with tahajjud, right? Allah is preparing you to give Sultan the authority. And what does the authority say? First thing, spread peace. Second, hunger. Very second. That should be the priority. And you realize that violation, we talked about it, violation of any hadith, violation of any Allah's order is the root of all evil.
This feeding of hungry means to feed the poor people.
Yes, of course. The one who cannot have. That's the priority. Before even setting in my school. First thing was that. So we have to understand nature. So what did you talk about Khilafah and feeding hunger and all this? Because that's the nature of Islam. That's the driver of nature. You see, akhlaq comes first. After that, you have to understand nature, what Allah created. So that's why it's important to know what's nature. Whatever Allah created, whatever existed. In engineering, that's the key to zero waste. Everything has to be natural. I give a simple example. If you are eating a fruit and you have toxic wrap or toxic skin, right? Toxic as in unnatural. Is zero waste? It's no way. Right away, we have been seeing this. We're given apple or oranges, right, with the wrap. It's not zero waste again anymore because that wrap itself is gone. So now take it to another limit. Skin. If the skin is not usable, right? If it has, you have used chemical fertilizer or pesticide, where does it go? To the skin. You cannot use it anymore. So that's gone. It's no longer sustainable. It's no longer zero waste. You can throw it out. Animals can eat. Goat will eat any skin, but it's not going to go anywhere. It will be poisonous to anybody. So that's the nature. Anytime you introduce anything, seed. Do you know every fruit has seed, and every seed has something beneficial? Most of them are medicine. But not if we have used pesticide and fertilizer. It becomes the opposite. That's why they say, oh, well, some of the seeds are poisonous. Because you added poison. That's what happened. Today, nowadays, they say, oh, liver is terrible food, internal organ, because they have injected hormone and pesticide and antibiotic. That's why they become terrible. So, if you see that, anywhere, if you have solar collector, not solar collector on the left, not photovoltaics, not those solar cells, right? But solar collector, directly using collecting. You can heat houses, you can use that directly, you can continue a closed loop. Every bit of it will be useful. On the other hand, if you use solar panels, right away you have introduced what? Toxic. The solar panels are silicon. They are processed toxically. Anything, and what you do not stop there. You store in a battery. What is the battery? Again, toxic. That's not enough. You are using it to create artificial light. What is in there? Again, toxic. So you are breaking the cycle and converting everything natural to artificial. Everything beneficial to artificial, harmful. And that's the promise of Shaitan. 4.119, remember? 4.119. When Shaitan says, number one, he will create dalala, he will create cognitive dissonance, so people cannot think, they become idiot. Number two, he said, he will give desire. Desire for money, desire for sex, desire for control. Number three, he said, then he will order them to cut ear of the cattle. What does it mean? Mutilate animals. That's what happens when you give animals toxic food, antibiotic, hormone. That's number three. Number four, order them to change everything. Whatever akhlaq, whatever Allah created, everything to artificial. Change in nature altogether. And that's the stage we're at. Everything changed. So how do you correct it? Go back to the root. Where did you go miss it? And I remember at first picture I showed that even if you put sunglasses, you have polluted.
Doctor, can we make like a modern house based on this model?
Yeah, and that was my project.
First, we can start with a single house and then like maybe a model village.
That's the best project I can think of. Just a house. Everything there, 100%. And that's what I've done in the Zero Waste book. We call it Zero Waste Lifestyle. Right? Everything organic. So I had a project like that, and my partner was in Turkey. He was a guy whose mother was diagnosed with cancer, and she was pregnant with the child. And they said, well, child is gone, but you are going to die yourself in 3 months, right? And she left Germany. She went to Turkey and settled for totally organic lifestyle, including mud house. The child was born and he became an activist because, mother is still alive. He became an activist, and that's how I got hold of him. He was very famous, and I decided I would co-author the book Zero Waste. It was not written yet with him. So I sent him a few chapters, and the message came back saying that he's dead. How did he die? He died. He ate some wild mushroom, but that's the code word for killing somebody, because the establishment was after him. So, but mother is still alive. So anyway, he had that project for housing, and it was a village, and we actually estimated, we were working together, it would be, at that time it would be like $10,000 only.
For the whole village?
No house.
Oh, house.
One house. It's in Turkey, so it's not very cheap, but everything was designed accordingly. Like we made either mud house or with rock, with mud or limestone as the cement, no artificial. So it was a project, but things happen, right? You remember, my university project in Libya was approved. I even sent one guy there. Second guy got his visa. That week, he was troubled.
No, actually, like, if we set up a model village like that, like
Yes.
starting from a house, like we can secure an area and start with a single 2-3 houses and then extend it to a model.
Tell you the truth, that was the plan. We wanted to have a base, just like Prophet did. We described the Prophet's first sermon in Medina. What did he do first? Built a mosque, right? So my idea was we build a masjid sustainably. In Canada, it's in Petroleum Technology Research Center in Regina. I was the guy who was involved in designing, and that's the first one, so-called sustainable building. But at that time, it was in 1998, 97. So I was not as,
Fully organic.
I was not organized myself, because I was not studying Quran. I started to study Quran in 2002. So it was, but with that knowledge, even at that time, it was built, it's considered to be the first building according to fully sustainable building, even the building itself. And of course, later on I left to another university and all this. So plan was to build the mosque as a sustainable building. Then, where with the head of the university? Just Prophet's way, close to the mosque. And that building will also be. Instead, I was given a 5-story building, and the 3rd floor was so-called mosque, and my building was, my floor was the 3rd floor, and instead of having quality of answer, I had all kind of balance. So nothing was followed up. Everything was replaced from natural to unnatural.
I mean, like, we don't even need like official funding for these. Like, building a house can be even done privately.
Actually, that was the proposal. Some guy who is in Qatar, a new Muslim, he volunteered. He was going to come because he's very good in that kind of situation. So we had that lined up also, but later on, his wife did not permit him because he's American, and they have issues, even though they're Muslim. But there's a one. But the idea was really there. I did not want a university that. You see, I was given an option: pick any university, Kabul or whatever, right? There's one university, American University. Remember? American University.
Yes.
I was even offered that. I said, I don't want anyone. I want my own, and the center would be, classroom would be the mosque.
Actually, Dr. Saab, like before the university project, like you can say it's like a theoretical kind of,
Yes.
it's an abstract idea, people won't get it. But if we build like a model structure and they can physically see it, like the organic machines there, you have a solar panel alternative there, you have a sewage system alternative there, and you have like alternatives shown to them, like this is how alternative look like.
Yeah.
So I guess it will be more effective.
Why university? Again, deductive logic comes first. What will be the motivation, right? Because the whole thing was about that. We are building a education system, and it's not mechanical. It starts with people. So it will be, you can make a model, you can say, oh, mashallah, it looks great, but nobody will have yaqeen.
Now, Dr. Actually, if you see it, the Prophet's model, so the masjid and the residence come first, and Ashab Sofa chamber
That's right.
comes afterwards.
Yes. But you know, that's how we discussed the first one. Prophet, first thing he said, spread is peace, spread salam. Second is feed hungry. Third, he said, take care of your kin, right? Fourth, he said, tahajjud, late night prayer. So he is preparing. In Surah Baqarah 151, what is the job of a prophet? First one, tazkiyah, they purify. It starts with purification. And of course, it would be great, but I always believe, and I found that to be true, it was heartbreaking before. I found at least 5 people that I would consider the best I have ever seen. And I've seen a lot of good students. And you can see my resume, all my books are co-authored by students. I have seen at least 5, it could be 7, it could be 8. Just in group. So, in terms of good people, we have the best people. Potentially best. But they are not in power, right? These are not decision makers. The idea is to make them so they are trained enough to have the sultan, what is it called? Sultan Nasir, the surah that you described. Well, let me see. You see?
Sultan al-Nasira.
Yeah, that's the one.
Who help people.
Yeah. The Sultan is the authority. Those guys, once the educated people get the authority, we have it made. That's how Khilafah was built. And we talked about that Prophet Muhammad, first Khalifa, second Khalifa, third Khalifa, fourth Khalifa, they were all Muhajir. You see, they are not refugee like to this sense. No refugee comes to a place and becomes head of a state. They remain miskin. So it's completely different from the refugee concept. So, you see the terms here. Solar aquatic waste, right? So, purify water. We talked about purifying water. You do that with using sunlight as well as plants to purify water. No chlorine, no chemical. So it starts with water. Then desalination, even for places where there is no water, only sea, in this ocean water. Even in this country, deep well will have salty water.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So if you have that, you can desalinate organically. For each of them, we have technologies that are already, in theory, we have done. So the whole process has to be complete within, comprehensive. Then anaerobic digester. This will produce gas, organic, that you can use. This is actually a real project in Nepal, where villages collected their waste, and from there they are having gas to burn
There are also projects there in Pakistan that they're using plastic container to solve the So again,
Yes, I know.
Yes.
Yes. Plus, they actually use balloon. Remember all of them? Huge balloon. But the idea is nature is self-sustaining. We don't have to resort to shaitan. We can have Allah will provide us. And we had it. The classic example is lithium. You had the technology from Pharaoh's time. Afghanistan had the technology. Afghanistan was selling gold to pharaohs. Why don't you use that same technology today for lithium? That way you have organic lithium. Can you imagine becoming the sole manufacturer of organic lithium? No, we have to give contract to Chinese. So they buy our lithium for 1 cent and they sell us the batteries for 3,000 Afghani.
Of course. Yeah.
and the gold found in Pharaoh's tombs, they are considered one of the best gold.
Yes,
found
absolutely.
now.
And nobody considers the science. Why is it the best? Because it's organic. Everything was organic. Nobody gets it. So what are you talking about? We use electricity. No electricity. It's not organic.
The Damascus steel, it's still famous for its strength.
Certainly. Excellent.
So the value, I mean, the expensiveness of ancient things, is it just because of its organic manufacturing?
Yeah, that's the value. Because everything was organic. That's why
Or some
today,
historical aspects are all.
today organic cotton is 3 times more expensive than other cotton, and 10 times more expensive than
Polyester.
polyester.
Polyester, nylon. Something.
Yes. Yet, 10 times. Who knew the technology of organic cotton better than you guys? Same with silk. Same with any other fabric. You see, Iran and Afghanistan were top in making carpets. It is wholly organic from sheep.
Yeah, it's still going on. It's still going on, but very expensive.
Exactly. You see the
Why is it
point?
expensive? Because its quality was good.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So
No,
the
to make
more
it should not be more expensive to make, because you don't have to rely on anybody. This is what I don't get. See, what is the cheapest food in all time? Cheapest food. You cannot buy anything.
Fast food.
Organic food. You grow in your backyard. What is the most expensive food today? Organic food. So expensive that poor people cannot afford it.
yeah, in case of corporates, the organic corporates, when it gets used, the color and everything gets somehow pressure, and I mean, the more it gets older and used, the more it gets beautiful.
Yes, I know that about natural carpet. That's why if it is organic carpet, natural, they always increase in value. Same as gold, same as wine, by the way. Old wine is most expensive, right? In a crooked sense, that's the nature. Gemstone. Who has the best gemstone in the world?
Same as the people, sir. The people become more old, become more expensive, become more talented.
Yeah. Gem, right? That's a good one. But we're talking about ruby and sapphire and all these gems. The best gemstone is Afghanistan. Did you know that? The very best. When it comes to ruby and sapphire, emerald.
So sir, we should seriously start considering implementing this model and
Yes.
start right away. Like
I agree.
I think you already applied too people, but I guess we should start implementing it.
Yes,
Yes.
it is true.
The first step should be
No more theory. Theory we know. Alhamdulillah, we're convinced with the theory. We have the yaqeen and we talk so much. The gemstone in this country, I don't know if you are familiar with it or not.
Yeah.
They are sold to Dubai. Dubai, what does Dubai do?
Yeah.
They send it to Thailand for cutting. They are again middlemen. And then they sell from Thailand and the Kafir country, or UK, or Malaysia, or Indonesia, or whatever, right? Most corrupt country will process it. Thailand, India, by the way, has a very good cutting operation. They will take it, then they sell it to another middleman. That makes 100 times more profit. So you're literally getting 1 cent by selling emerald, and you're very happy because, mashallah, I met some of these miners in Afghanistan. One of them came here, he wants to money. I said, what is it about? So I'm getting married. So I have to see this. Just randomly in the street, a quick conversation. He has to get married, and he needs to see this person. I said, what? What do you do? He said, I have a gemstone mine. I said, what? you should be rich. Then I came to know about this. That they sell very cheap. Today, ask anybody, how much does it cost to buy a cutting machine? Not very much. And there again, you can have your own technique that you used to have from a long time ago. Then you are making 100 times more profit. 100 times minimum, if not more. Plus, Sharia-wise, it's haram to engage middleman, isn't it true? Only trading we are not allowed to do. We are not allowed to trade with riba. Number 2, middleman. We're doing both.
No, why not middleman?
It's in hadith.
No, it's like if you sell before you buy, but you buy it first and then sell it, then it's okay. Like
No,
it's
you
normal
see-
trading.
The guys who are middlemen, you have to understand the logic of middleman. They never see the product. They never buy anything. They
Like-
never spend any money.
Yes, like obviously if it's
Selling-
Bay Qabla Shira, like they sell it before they buy it themselves
No, that's
or
another.
get hold of it.
That's different. That's not a middleman. That's actually stock. He's buying stock and he's selling, right? That would be fine. But this guy has never seen the emerald. He knows the person. It's a connection. He's selling connection. One of the most notorious example, Mark Rich. I don't know if you heard the name or not. He was a corrupt guy who was supposed to be in jail. He was convicted in New York. He ran away. For 10, 15 years, he was convicted. What is his job? Middleman for Saudi Arabia and Iran. So both Dwalin and Maghzir got hold of them. He's selling their oil. And he's the middleman. He's a convicted felon. Convicted in the US. He cannot go back to US. Mark Rich. You can look up the name. So what did he do? He made billions. Billions of dollars. He took few millions from US, and that's why he was convicted. He went out, he made billions. And what did he do? He paid hundreds of millions, it's not billion, hundreds of millions to Israel. They always do. Israel is the capital of all corruption. What Israel did with their money? He paid up Bill Clinton to pardon him. Now he's free. He died, by the way. See the scheme of Shaitan? It's taking your money, it's Saudi money, it's Iranian money, to pardon their criminal. And who got the biggest benefit out of it? Israel. The Saudi Arabia, mashallah, themselves are making $1 and giving away $100. Saudi Arabia is the only country sells the most oil, yet they import from what? Do you know? India, of all people. They buy refined oil from India. And now they're talking about, the Muslims are persecuted in India. What a travesty. What do you think? Do you think they don't know that? So you always find it's the lack of akhlaq, it's the lack of iman that fuels every corruption.
So even the oil which is used in Saudi Arabia, it is imported.
It's simple, refined oil. They sell for $40 and they buy back $300. So
No, Aramco doesn't have its own refinery.
they have, but it's not enough. Because again, remember we showed the picture, the Arab countries are the most wasteful in the world.
First is
They are 5 times more wasteful than Europe. And that's why, you remember the ranking,
Yeah, of course.
stupidity to the power 4.
First is Qatar,
Muslims.
Kuwait, UAE.
Yes, you remember. So, greed is that way. And Surah Baqarah, I think it's verse 112 or something, they said, talking about Bani Israel, they are the greediest. Greediest.
Sorry, but Saudi Arabia is not a poor country. So why didn't you pay attention to this matter, and why did they do not invest in the refinement process?
They are looking for quickest money possible. For anything Islamic, anything organic, anything natural, you need to have patience for long term. At least 5 months, five years.
Even if it is artificial, but they have
Actually,
to.
what they do, for example, they have like 100 gallons, so they sell out for like $40, let's say, and then their only need is like 1 gallon. So even if they buy it $300, so they say that we have sold out the raw material, so it's okay for us.
Yeah. In Saudi Arabia now, it's what are their projects? You know, the tallest building in the world, just Prophet prophesied, and also the only totally artificial city. It's
Nothing organic.
totally artificial. People would not even get out. Maximum 15 minutes with the rapid train. And the whole thing is a prison, and they are bragging about it. So modern.
Saudi Arabian people are not, they don't have educated people. For example, education
Well, you
departments
know,
have Saudi
I should
Arabia.
tell this little story
Yeah,
about
very big,
myself.
all the doctors come from the rest of the countries, for example, India.
No, they are changing it now, like they are trying to make their own doctors, but this is not what real education is.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's the
So what
education
happened?
of the
It's not
Euroscience.
because of lack of
Europe
that.
side, yeah.
Many people say, well, at least so the government is bad, but people are good, right? I have news for you. In 1997, I went for Hajj, right? And later on, I went to Russia, I went to many countries. At that time, during the time of Hajj, that's the best behavior people, right?
Saudi Arab.
So they're best behavior of people during Hajj, right? It's haram, a month of haram, you cannot fight and you cannot even swear, curse. I concluded after that people-wise, I'm not talking about government, people-wise, the worst people on earth are Saudi, as a group.
Arabian.
Yes,
Saudi Arab.
like I have spent like 18 years in Saudi, I can,
Oh, you have.
I can verify it.
Subhanallah. And people are so shocked. So what is your second? I say, it's Russia. And he said, Subhanallah, you are putting Russians over Saudi. I said, look, I'm not married to Russia and I'm not married to Saudi. It's not my personal thing. This is my observation. I went back to Saudi Arabia in 2008. Nothing has changed. But this time I was their official guest for 7 days. They treated me very well. They paid for my trip, business class. Completely artificial environment, because within the university I was not allowed to talk to anybody. Everything's nice. First encounter as I'm exiting the airport, Dhahran. They took me aside. You know, in business class ticket, your line is different, and you are fast tracked. Why? Because there is a business lounge. So you are supposed to be fast tracked, and you have all you can eat and all you can drink.
Yes.
So I took the fast track. They picked me up from the fast track because I was the only non-white guy, right? And picked me up and took my passport. It's Canadian passport, so there should be no problem. Then he took me interrogation room. I said, oh my God, what is this? This is very embarrassing. Because I was state guest. They paid for the ticket. They treated me like royalty for 7 days. And this, he's asking all kind of questions with his broken English. So much so, I spent 45 minutes. So much for I thought I was going to miss the flight. So much for my business lounge, right?
So basically, they are frustrated with why have our government invited this brown guy as a guest?
Exactly that. I have more embarrassing story. Head of the delegate was it original birth is India, but he's the most famous professor in Canada at the time. But he's American also. So he head of the delegates there, right? He's the head. About 6 people, white guys accompanying him. They put a red tag. See, in a very secure area, they put a tag on you. So you are good. See, Rafiq, I noticed that they put red for other guys something else. So I don't know, maybe because I'm the leader. It was exactly opposite. He's the only non-white guy.
Their behavior were better in 2008 that you went to
No, they are not. It was the same.
over that.
But official, the guys who are paid to treat me well, they treat me very well. But that doesn't count. As I was saying, it's an artificial structure. It doesn't count. So, it's not those people who will never get a leader. That is Islamic. That leader has to come from outside. We have to destroy them like Mehdi is supposed to do. Remember? Even the tree will speak. That, oh, there's a Yahud hiding behind me. Isn't it true?
Yes.
Right? Who is the Yahud today? Who is the Yahud?
Israel.
You're not at all. Yahud had a book. Yahud had a book.
They are secular.
Those guys have nothing to do with the book. They're completely secular.
So the Arabs.
No.
We forget the hadith. Ummah will follow footstep by footstep. These are rule to these are rule to Bani Israel. So those guys represent this group that has the book still disobeys. So people are thinking that it should be Israeli. I don't think so. Does it look like?
Then who they will be?
It's the Muslims, so-called Muslims that are following, that have the book, is still denying it. Check out verse 85. Please do that. Surah Baqarah, verse 85, 86. Memorize it. It states very clearly the status of these people. It says, you accept the book whenever you want and reject the book whenever you wish. It doesn't fit. That's the quality.
Sir, there is one thing, the term Ahl Kitab.
Yes.
Yeah, it's never interpreted in Islam's, yeah, it's okay that we do have the book, which is Quran. But the term Ahl Kitab in Quran, it is about Injil and as
Now,
well as-
who told you that? Who told you?
Like even there's a saying of Umar Salano, like he was saying that the mention of Ahl Kitab in the Quran, like it was for the Jews and the Christians at the time of the Prophet, but all Muslims. Now you also fear these verses because you also have the book now.
Yeah, absolutely. See, that's why I say, I was talking to Saif yesterday, any verse, you cannot understand any verse unless you see with the research that comes from Quran and Hadith. Not a single verse is applicable. Have you ever heard, you have heard many times what Ikram is. Have you ever heard Ikram is deduction?
But when there are verses which is referring to, to Ahl Kitab that you can
All of them
get married
apply.
with them, get married with
That's
them.
right. That's right. Today, realistically speaking,
Yeah.
see,
So the
Mehdi comes
people
here.
who
Mehdi
have
comes
the
here.
kitab.
Okay, listen, get this analogy. Mehdi comes here, only few hundred people support him. Right? Mehdi will tell that yes, you can marry a Sunni or Shia, but they have to be good. They have to be pure. We do not have pure. Only yesterday, a Bangladeshi woman stabbed her father 14 times. Why? 18-year-old Muslim, right? Why? Because he would not buy her a laptop. 18 times her own father. So do you think those will qualify as even somebody you can marry? No. So you have to use logic. So literally, the job is to find out when Mehdi comes. You remember we said research should be what will Prophet Muhammad do. So he's not going to come back, but when Mehdi comes, how would he see? Would he call these 1.8 billion people as brother when they are fighting him? Because they will fight. The supporter of the Mehdi will be fit only on Uhud mountain. That's it. All of them will support Dajjal and